All right, let's get this thing started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm running super late again, but you know, just how it is sometimes. Happy Tuesday, Twitter Tuesday, and I was going to have all kinds of topics to talk about today, but apparently there's only one topic that's really important in the news today, and that would be the raid of a former president's home. Or something like that. An unprecedented move that certainly will bring consternation and bad feelings to everybody. So, hello, I am your host, about to start the show, and normally we start the show by playing the intro. Johnny, would you do the honor, please? Yes, now. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. Yes! Stop that music! Now, please stop the music. Stop the music. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Martin, also known as Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel in our beautiful Republic of Bananas. Yes, it is Tuesday, Twitter Tuesday, where much of the news I just derive from Twitter, but I do that almost every day, although I use other sources. Yesterday it was the Discord server. A couple days ago was my friend Ace, actually JJ Septon at the Ace of Spades. But today it is Twitter Tuesday, so I just pulled everything from Twitter. And Twitter is abuzz with the raid on a former president's private residence and business. Yes, Mar-a-Lago was searched, and well, we'll talk about that whole search thing, and you know, it's kind of crazy. Oh, it's kind of fuzzy. I still didn't fix the video resolution, so it's gonna be fuzzy again today. I apologize, but it's, if you're on a phone, you won't notice, but if you're on a bigger screen, you will notice that I am fuzzy today. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Now that many of you are showing up in the chat and on the thing that tells me how many viewers I have, and I'm glad you're here. I'm, you know, when I come late, it's my own damn fault. So people start showing up about 30 minutes into the show, but that's okay because I don't have time to wait because I'm already late. And you know, I do have my cup of coffee from the today. It's the Oli Store cup, the Oli Store in Northfield, Minnesota, a lovely little restaurant right near the campus of St. Olaf's. The St. Olaf Oli's is what they're called, and the Oli Store is the nice little restaurant that has a lovely breakfast and lunch right down the hill from St. Olaf's University. Anyway, so I'm fuzzy every day. Yes, I'm fuzzy every day. Well, today I didn't shave. I shave every other day. Today I'm a little more fuzzy than normal, but you know. Anyway, so let's say good morning to the folks in the chat today. Let me get rid of this pinned chat here. I don't need this anymore because I'm already going. First in the chat today was our good friend Advocatus Diabli, who has earned the coveted bell. There you go. And, yes, the troops are happy. You know, maybe I should do some music during the good mornings. Here, let's keep the music going. All right. Also, let's see who else is here. Good morning also to Tyrannus Alexandrius Invictus Soul, aka Tyre Alexander. Hello, sir. Good morning to also Mike Savage Blarg. Let's see. It took a while for everyone else to get here. Hello, Somnambule Nation. Can't watch the live day, but hope to have a great stream. Well, you can get it through it on one go. I hope so. Yeah, yesterday was a problem. Good morning also to Mad Squatch. Good to see you. Attack Alpacas in the house. Tyler F, longtime watcher. Damian Gershwin, good morning again. I wonder how long until everyone realizes a civil, rational society that includes leftists is simply not possible. Well, we'll see. We've had them forever. And Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Who says ban the FBI. I'm not ready to ban the FBI completely, but which certainly needs to be set in the corner for a while. You know?
That's right.
Yes, okay. Also, good morning to, let's see, Richo, my friend from down under. How are you, my friend? Good morning also to, let's see, I'm slowly going down here. Ah, there's more people. Zombie Teddy's in the house. What's happening? Good morning to, Straight Sith Male, Rick Ashbringer, aka Rick, Retro Veteran Gamers in the house. I am glad to see all of you. So, all right, that we'll turn this music back up because it's driving me crazy. I can't do it. It probably sounded just fine to you. In fact, let me check something. Let's see. Oh yeah, see that volume's really loud. I can't seem to turn that shit down. Maybe if I did it over here instead of over there, it would work better. I don't know. This thing equalizes out everything, and it's hard to change the levels. Anyway, so what shall we talk about today? Nomad's in the house. What's happening?
Stop. Hammer time.
Nomad is in the house. A good man. All right. So the big news, and probably what all we'll get to talk about today, because I'm going to show you a lot of different reactions. Oh, by the way, me personally, as far as the raid on the home of Donald John Trump, the former president of the United States, a very unprecedented act. I am going to invoke my personal 5-day rule. I'm not going to give a personal opinion about this. I'm just going to give you other people's opinions, although I think I may have already given you an opinion or two. But I'm just thinking this is definitely some 5-day rule shit right here, because I'm curious as the raid, because there's people trying to explain it, and there's certainly people saying, "Oh, nobody's above the law." Well, we don't even know why they were there, other than perhaps some documents that were that they had there, some that may have been at one time classified, but according to what's his name, Kash Patel, is that his name? Something. It said that no, they may have been marked classified, but they weren't classified because they were declassified, and they just happened to have some there. I seem to recall a certain former official of the United States government who had lots of classified, not just classified, in fact, special access product and some very classified and top secret product on a computer in the bathrooms in their home. And the FBI and the Robert Mueller and the prosecutor type people all said, well, no, she was not intentional. She certainly did not mean to have that on a server that did not have any form of encryption for the first year she had it. And we don't know who in the other parts of the world had access to that computer. But no, she did not intentionally do that. So they said, well, we're not going to prosecute her. And I'm not going to say her by name, Hillary Clinton. And, oh, goodness, did I slip up there? Goodness gracious me. Anyway, good morning, Ebony Williams. How are you? Good. Jay Pylon's in the house. Nice to see you both. Now, there was a raid at a certain home in Florida. By the way, thank you, Man Squatch and Somnambule Nation and Tyler F. for tweeting out the show. I appreciate that greatly, for either tweeting out the show or retweeting my tweet, which is fantastic. By the way, the Morning Night Live is brought to you. The viewers of the Morning Night Live, please hit the like button sometime during the show. Share the stream right now, because that would be most eventful and helpful. But before, during, and after the show is also good. Also, please, if you're watching on replay, you'll want to comment on this one somewhere in the comment section. And also, it tells me that you were here, because sometimes I see the people who are here during the comments, in the chat, but I don't see the people who just kind of happen to watch it later. So some of you are very diligent about doing that for me, and I greatly appreciate it. And then finally, if you want to sponsor the show, you can watch the whole show at pdognight.live. But even if not, that is where my Streamlabs tip jar is, where you can do that 24 hours a day. And there's not much of a character restrictions as far as or how many characters you can write a longer note. Also, it's not restricted by how much you donate. Whatever you donate, you get the same amount of characters. Or you can do super chats and all the other stuff down in the description. All right, 21 people here, 9 likes. Hit the like button, and let's get this shit started. So, there was a raid. Oh, wait. Before we get to the raid, there's a couple things that just happened to be in the news that I wanted to tell you about. Okay? couple things that I want to tell you about. Apparently, Gretchen Whitler. I'm sorry, is it Whitler? Whitmer. Freudian slip. Gretchen Whitler, whatever her name is, the governor of Michigan. Shall we say a prayer for her? Because apparently she has tested positive. Now, the tweet I'm looking at doesn't say what she tested positive for. It could be gonorrhea or rickets or herpes or something, but it says, let's look it up because I'm not 100% sure. Gretchen. Oh no, I don't want to tweet about her. I just want to find out. Gretchen Whitmer, 1,400 tweets in the last hour. Goodness gracious, she's trending today. Let's see. Oh, yes. Remember, there it is. Breaking. Gretchen Whitmer, governor. Oh, you can't even see that shit. Yeah, let's fix that. There we go. Did that work? Gosh darn it. What are you doing today, Johnson? Let's try this again. Aha! Gretchen Whitler, Michigan governor, test positive for stupid 19. A great opportunity to repost this gem. Let's see what she said about this. Wait, that didn't work. Come on. Let's try that again. Here we go.
Well, I mean, this is what we're seeing. I think, 43 states across the country, we have got
yes.
Republican legislation that's moving to make it harder for people to vote. We just came through a historic, free, fair, full election. And we're now...
Okay, I am going to get in trouble for that music. Hold on, stop! No! Don't play REO Speedwagon on my channel. I will get a content or copyright thingy or something. Oh, I didn't do the, here, let me fix the Superstar Sponsor of the Day, too. I didn't do that either. I'm flying by the seat of my pants today, people. Just get used to it. Okay. That is funny, though. That is funny. She has the picture of Fauci behind her. Anyway, she has tested positive for the stupid 19. Everyone shall pray for her. And let's see. And now she tested positive. Let's see what the Washington Examiner says about this. Because, it has something to do with lockdowns, I bet. They're going to lock down Michigan again. And I feel sorry for you if you live in Michigan unless somebody defeats her in her governor's race. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitler announced she tested positive for stupid 19 Monday evening. The Democrat who said she's been fully vaccinated and received 2 booster shots added that she's experiencing mild symptoms. Well, that's like everybody. Everybody does that. Hello, Chicago Mike. I had mild symptoms too. I mean, well, okay, let's say one day I had a fever. That was pretty high. But then for the rest of the time, I didn't cough a lot. It was mild symptoms. It was a bad whatever. But I had it before there were any vaccines, before there was any hope for people who got the stupid 19. Everybody who got stupid 19 early on died. I mean, it was like a 98% fatality rate, and I was one of the lucky ones. So anyway... Right. Yeah. So anyway, she's sick and miscareful and lock everybody down. Still tests positive after being fully vaccinated. I don't give a shit about that. Okay, let's move on. I'm in a goofy mood. All right. Can y'all tell I'm kind of in a goofy mood today? I just am. I don't know. All right. Then let's see. So Andrew Warren. If you're not familiar with Andrew Warren, I think he's the Attorney General for the state of Florida, right? Or Attorney General, something like that. One of the important law people. And apparently, he had decided that he was going to not enforce some certain laws that the governor said, you should probably be enforcing these laws, and he refused. And so the governor suspended him. And now he's an elected official, but he's also the one of the law enforcement officers of the state of Florida. And so there's some people who were, the governor was a little upset. I don't even know the whole story. But anyway, he works in Tampa, which is Tampa the capital of Florida? Something like that? I don't know. No. Tampa's not the capital. I don't know. For whatever reason, though, he works in Tampa. But he published a op-ed In a more friendly paper, the Miami Herald, and so my friend Max here had to point this out. Andrew Warren was working in Tampa. Why did he publish an op-ed in the Miami Herald? Because this is what the Miami Herald does. The Miami Herald is known for the Miami Herald is known for just publishing things that are against the because they anything anti-DeSantis. So remember Rebecca Jones, don't be silenced by an armed police raid at my Florida home. COVID whistleblowers, I won't be. That's because she was raided for shit she stole from the state. So anyway, this thing right here, DeSantis suspended me for no greater cause than blind political ambition, because the Miami Herald will post anything anti-DeSantis. There was no warning, no movement allowed to read the governor's executive order, no time to speak to my 300 team members, writes former state attorney Andrew Warren, who was suspended last week by Governor Ron DeSantis. So anyway, that's just Democratic papers shilling for Democrats. All right, let's move on because I want to talk about the raid. Thank you. Oh, good God. I have been caught. Apparently, it has been brought to the attention of the FBI that I am talking about a subject that is verboten. Thank you to the FBI of the United States, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, even took the time to donate money to me, saying they put a small bullet in my tip jar. I wonder if that is a foreshadowing. Says, well, it's very ominous. Let me see if I can find some ominous music. Hold on a second. Ominous. Here we go. The FBI dropped a small bullet in the tip jar with the message, coming for you next. Better clench that butthole. Okay, thank you FBI for sponsoring the show, and you can kiss my big fat ass. All right. Let's get into the show. Let's get into something today, because I'm just goofy today, I gotta tell you. So the big news, obviously, is that former President Trump has said that that the FBI raided his Florida home. Now, I'm fascinated, first of all, by how Twitter presented this, and there's several papers presenting it in the same way, in the line saying that former President Trump says the FBI raided his Florida home. What do you mean, says? I thought this has already been confirmed. Is it just me? Oh, my favorite notification. Yes, the shake weights are rather fabulous. Real quick, thank you, Chicago Mike. Oh, the big 999. It's the Herman Cain donation, the 999. Thank you, sir. Says today's episode of the Dawg Knight Show is sponsored by Mike's Writer's Block. When I cannot come up with a funny sponsor, then I came up with Mike's Writer's Block. Well, thank you, sir. And Mike's Writer's Block, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much, sir. I didn't do that for the FBI, who was the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. But then Chicago Mike became the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. All right. Now, so anyway, this is a strange way to phrase this. Former President Donald Trump says the FBI raided his Florida home. That word says makes it sound like he said it, but maybe they didn't. And I'm trying to figure it out. Why they say the former president says the FBI raided his home. It makes no sense to me. But there were a lot of people out there watching last night. In fact, there's apparently a lot of people started showing up there. And in fact, I was listening to one of those Twitter Spaces last night, and one of the guys hosting the Spaces lives 3 blocks from Mar-a-Lago, so he went over there while we was on the Twitter Space and was talking from there, and said, there's a bunch of police cars and flights and shit going on. Anyway, in a statement Monday, Trump said that his Mar-a-Lago residence in Palm Beach was, quote, occupied by a large group of FBI agents, end quote, according to reports from multiple outlets. The search was part of an investigation into the handling of presidential documents. Keep it here for updates on this breaking story. Well, I shall. And in fact, what I did is I clicked a few links that were in here. But there are the people. This is just the former President Donald Trump says. But here's Reuters, missing national records. The U.S. National Archives and Records Administration in February notified Congress that if it had recovered about 15 boxes of White House documents from Trump's Florida home, some of which contained classified materials. This is number 2 of 7. Well, let's read the Reuters thread here, because I'm just curious. That's, again, and even Reuters, former U.S. President Donald Trump said that FBI agents raided his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida, with the focus of the investigation not immediately clear. Here's a look at some of the probes and lawsuits that Trump faces. They've opened up a can of copium. Anyway, the missing national records, that's the one that they did in February, which they already knew about. And it's like, if they were just coming for that, which most of the reports I'm reading say it's talking about that. But, I don't know why they would have to raid his Florida home. Oh, he said they broke open the safe too, in Mar-a-Lago. But anyway, you would think that they would just go. Would ask. This is not normal. This is not normal that they would go and have a warrant or whatever, because there was a warrant issued. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, so these are some. Reuters decides to put a list of all the bad things that Donald's done. Missing national records, the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, wire fraud. What? Democrats said in June hearing of the January 6th committee that Trump, a Republican, raised more than $250 million from supporters to advance fraudulent claims in court. Then he won the election but steered much of the money elsewhere. Oh. Georgia election tampering probe. Special grand jury was elected May to consider evidence Georgia prosecution inquiry into Trump's alleged efforts to influence the state's 2020 election results. So that's what they came up with. All right, whatever. So that's the thread there. But anyway, so then there's this article in the Wall Street Journal. Trump says Mar-a-Lago home was raided by FBI agents. Search is part of an investigation into the former president's handling of official records per people familiar with the matter said. It's always people familiar with the matter. Why can't they just quote somebody? Why can't they just say, Don Oswald, the FBI investigator in charge, said it was related to the handling of official records? No. People familiar with the matter. Those very mysterious people familiar with the matter said. Anyway, so here's the lead on the Wall Street Journal. FBI agents searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home in Palm Beach, Florida on Monday, which people familiar with the matter, those people familiar with the matter sure are popular, said was part of an investigation into Mr. Trump's handling of official records. The raid was first made public in a statement released by Mr. Trump, in which he said FBI agents were conducting a raid of his home. Nothing ever like this ever happened to a president of the United States before, he said in a statement. After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate. I am going to concur. They could have just asked. He's been cooperating with them for a while. And good God. Anyway, they even broke into my safe, Mr. Trump wrote. Details of the operation were not immediately available in February. The National Archives, okay, we already talked about that. Aides to Mr. Trump didn't immediately respond to a request for more information. He was in New York City Monday evening, according to a person according to a person familiar with his location. Why didn't you just say he was in New York? Do you even need to have someone confirming that, or a person familiar with his location? Are you serious? What a fucking jackass. Anyway, spokesperson. Oh, a spokeswoman. They seem to know what a woman is again. A spokeswoman, which is of undetermined genital capabilities. For the Justice Department declined to comment. Spokespeople for the FBI did not immediately respond, so nobody's talking. The White House didn't get advance notice of the FBI search at Mar-a-Lago, an administration official said. All right. All at once, type in a single word going through my mind right now. I will wait a moment and see who comes up with the correct word. The White House didn't get any advance notice of the FBI search at Mar-a-Lago, an administration official said. Type it in now, please. I'll wait. While I wait, I will read this wonderful donation from Jimmy Das Hotep. Thank you, sir, for the double. It's 2 tens. It's 20. I'm 2 tens. Get it? Anyway, thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, for sponsoring the show. Who says, strong arm of the government doing what they do best, stoking discontent. They want violence. They are coming after past presidents, probably using the Patriot Act. You know they are coming after citizens next with those IRS hires. You are 100% correct there. 100% correct. Okay. Oh, and while I was, thank you again, Jimmy Das Hotep. That's very generous of you, sir. Let's see, who got it for? Yes, what's her name? And good morning, what's her name? Tarai Deo, Cindy Bishop. And it's all the ladies coming. Oh, and Simon Wolfwood. I shouldn't say all the ladies, but and Jimmy Das Hotep. Welcome to you all. What's her name? You got it. The optimum word to the phrase. The White House didn't get any advance notice of an FBI search at Mar-a-Lago, an administration official said. The correct reply is bullshit. That is a big old pile of bull dookie and holy shit. Good morning. Oh, Undead Kaiser, what's happening? And you said something up here. You had a lot of caps. It was, and let me find this real quick because I want to. What the hell's going on here? Let's see. It was this is so illegal that the book needs to be thrown at the FBI and Biden. It is insanity that they're doing this. But anyway, the idea, though. Hold on. Now, just that one sentence alone. Defies any form of logic whatsoever. They did not nobody notified the White House that a former president's residence was about to be, even if it was just served a warrant and searched or raided or whatever. You're telling me that nobody notified the White House that you were doing this? Seriously? Are you out of your bleepity bleep? You're lying. You're just lying.
Why the fuck you lying?
You're lying. You're full of shit. You're just lying. You are.
You're lying. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
That is a lie. Maury, what's the dude? The Maury show. Maury Povich, is that his name? The dude. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a lie. Anyway, let's see what else. Messages left for the National Archives and Record Administration spokesman were not immediately returned. Well, they don't have the power to serve a warrant. The FBI's did it. To conduct such a search, the FBI would need to convince a judge that there was a reason to believe a crime may have been committed. Oh, I think it would take a little bit more than that to search a former president of the United States home. I think you need a hell of a lot more than that. Please. Thank you, Ty Alexander, for sponsoring the show with a small bullet. Who says, Ty Alexander says, to quote a famous samurai, There, the enemy is at Hanonji. I'm going to say this. There, the enemy is in the capital. They are really trying to break our nations in half. FTG FBI and Emperor Pudding Brain the Wise. Yes, thank you, Tyler Alexander. That's fantastic. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. Holy shit. Yeah, we'll show that message, Jimmy. I don't know why they held the message. Anyway, so to conduct a search, the FBI would need to convince a judge that there was a reason to believe a crime may have occurred. Look, the way that the Democrats and the people in whatever power go judge shopping. Remember that FISA warrant they issued for, what was that name? Carter Page? All you got to do is go judge surfing and you'll find the right judge to do it. Anyway, the Justice Department is looking into the former president's handling of official records as well as his actions around the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. You mean the riot that happened there by some jackholes that probably shouldn't have been doing shit, but then by the time the other people got there, the place was already open and a lot of people walked in and got cited for misdemeanors that they're still being held in prison for, that haven't gone to trial and they're waiting for their sentencing and shit like that over to almost 2 years later. Those people. The search is separate from the January 6th investigation. People familiar with the probe said yes. More people familiar with the probe. Fantastic. Good morning, Rock Hopper. Another friend from down under. Nice to see you. Holy shit. And then we'll go. Let's move on because I want to read how other places are spinning this. And I say spin, I mean reporting this. I shouldn't say spin. They're not spinning. Anyway, here's a Bloomberg quick take. Trump's Florida's home was raided by the FBI. Here's what we know. Part of the investigation into whether he took classified documents from the White House. Raid began Monday morning and lasted until after 6 p.m. Trump says Mar-a-Lago safe was opened. Okay, that's pretty bullet pointy, straight to the point. Okay, here's the New York Times. FBI searches Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence in Florida. The former president called the search an assault and complained that authorities had broken into a safe. The news appeared to come as a surprise to top aides at the White House. Now that's, again, somebody in the executive branch absolutely had to be notified this. I don't believe for a second that nobody in the executive branch knew this was happening, because that would be like let me think about this. What would that be like? I don't know. That'd be like attacking a small island without telling the Pentagon attacking a small island without telling the president they were going to do it. That is a complete big old pile of bullpucky. Good morning, Johnny Hellcat. How you doing, brother? The original viewer of the Morning Night Live is in the house. So, comes as a surprise to top aides at the White House. Well, maybe top aides. When they say top aides, I almost made the worst joke. I should not even have that go into my head like a weekend in San Francisco. Anyway, maybe that some of the top aides, but the dude at the top, President, what was that? What was the great name that the other guy came up with? Not President Pudding Brain. Was it something Pudding? SpongeBob, Sponge Brain, President Sponge Brain, something pants. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, this search appears to be focused on materials Trump took from the White House. Appears. What do you mean appears? I'm gotta tell you, that's not the only reason they went there. We've known about that since February. And they cooperated, returning money to the documents. They're supposed to go to the National Archives. Why would they have done this now? Sponge Brain Shit Pants. Yes, President Sponge Brain Shit Pants. Anyway, thank you, Tyler Alexander. You have a great memory. Okay. President Donald J. Trump sent money to the FBI that searched his Palm Beach, Florida home and had broken open a safe, an account signaling a major escalation in the various investigations into the final stages of his presidency. The search, according to multiple people familiar with the investigation, man, these people get around, appeared to be focused on material that Mr. Trump had brought with him to Mar-a-Lago, his private club and residence, when he left the White House. Those boxes contained many pages of classified documents, according to a person familiar with their contents. Another one. Oh, they're everywhere. Mr. Trump delayed returning 15 boxes of material requested by officials with the National Archives for many months, only doing so when there became a threat of action to retrieve them. So, wait a minute. So he already returned them, right? Maybe? The case was referred to the Justice Department by the Archives early this year. The search marked the latest remarkable turn in the long-running investigations into Mr. Trump's actions before, during, and after his presidency, and even as he weighs announcing another candidacy for the White House. It came as the Justice Department had stepped up its separate inquiry into Mr. Trump's efforts to remain in office after his defeat at the polls in the 2020 election, and the former president also faces an accelerating criminal inquiry in Georgia and civil actions in New York. Okay, so they're going to go through all that again, so that's how they lead it off. Let's go to This is CNN. Now this is more of an editorial. The extraordinary political storm unleashed by the FBI's search of Trump's Florida resort. The FBI search of Donald Trump's Florida resort is an extraordinary, historic development. It certainly is. Given that it targeted a former president of the United States and set off a political uproar he could use to stoke his likely 2024 White House bid. Yeah, because if this turns out to be another pile of bullshit or nothing or whatever, another nothing burger, look, this has got even independents going, what the fuck is this administration doing? That's what's going on right there. And everyone who's not a diehard Democrat, everyone's like, what? You did, wait, hold, what? What? Huh? In the immortal words of Kanye West, huh? In the past, political investigators have threatened Trump have threatened Trump have only increased his superpower appeal to supporters. But in fact, look, I'm even like, you know me, I'm not a Trump guy. I'm not a MAGA. I don't own any red hats. I'm not, I voted for him the second time because I thought his policies was good, even though I think he's a jackass, but I'm not a Trump guy, right? This bullshit makes me go, okay, look, now I want him back in office in 2025 just for the lulls. Hello, Unfair Ophelia. Nice to see you. So anyway, but I'm not anti-Trump either. You all know I'm not I am pro-Trump. I'm just not a MAGA person. I'm, it's okay. You don't have to be a MAGA person to be a good person. Anyway, in the past, political investigators threatened Trump have only increased his superpower appeals. But federal agents on Monday acted on a judge-approved warrant, which suggests they had probable grounds to believe a crime had been committed. Really? Just like Carter Page, right? They focused on Trump's offices and personal quarters in his Mar-a-Lago winter residence while the former president was away in New York. Monday's search was related to the possible mishandling of presidential documents, potentially some that were classified that may have been taken to Trump's home, the subject of one of two Justice Department investigations related to the former president. The news was one of the most staggering twists yet in the story of Trump, who was impeached twice and cited the Now, this is CNN. Listen to this sentence. This is great. This is classic CNN when they describe anything about Trump, because they hate Trump at CNN. In fact, their bread and butter is Donald Trump, and honestly, CNN needs Donald Trump in office. They need things to happen to Donald Trump because their ratings are so far in the shitter, they might be going out of business. They're terrible. They're just dying, and they need a Donald Trump to foil with, because that's the only time that their ratings got really good. And now, ever since Trump's gone, it's been listen to this sentence. This is a great sentence. The news was one of the most staggering twists yet in the story of Trump, who was impeached twice. They want to make sure you say he was impeached twice. Was he convicted? No, he was impeached twice. He went through the very political process of impeachment, but never, incited a mob riot to try to overturn his 2020 election loss. Wow. Did he incite a mob riot? That has yet to be determined. In fact, it's very unlikely. He didn't incite the mob riot. Someone in the mob certainly did. Who's that guy's name? The guy that had the ranch in Arizona? He's kind of hiding himself. You know what I'm talking about. Ray-ups. And but he wasn't the only one. There was other people who decided to do that shit. There was some organized shit going on there. You could tell, but it wasn't necessarily people because it was before the speech was over. It wasn't the people who were watching the speech. It was the guys who were already there at the White House starting shit before any of them got there. Hello, Jeff Overturf. Nice to see you. So and then the next part of this stupid sentence, and constantly tore at the guardrails of his office and democracy during his single term and afterward, like no other president. How the fig did he constantly tore at the guardrails of his office and democracy? What the actual fuck are you talking about? Tore at the guardrails of democracy? You know what? Did he did he try to get things passed, and when they didn't pass, except for maybe funding for the wall, which he kind of did some, stupid Washington tricks to get that funded. But for the most part, Donald Trump pushed for his ideas. If they didn't make it to Congress, he didn't just say, "Oh, I declare this," like Joe Biden's doing with certain things, right? Biden's trying to play, "Oh, well, they don't pass this, I'm going to do an executive order." Anyway, that's one hell of a paragraph. That is one hell of a paragraph. It threatened to inject new toxins into the political life of a nation that is hopelessly divided, with millions of Trump supporters already believing his lies that the 2020 election was stolen, and that on many issues no longer has a common understanding of truth itself. Who wrote this shit? Did Jim Acosta write this? This is by Stephen Collinson. Okay, interesting. Trump seizes on the search. He pounced on the search to fire up supporters. Oh my God. Trump was quick to put a political spin on the operation, claiming that his beautiful home, quote unquote, was, quote, under siege, raided, and occupied, while complaining that he was the victim of the, quote, weaponization of the justice system, end quote, by Democrats who wanted to stop him from becoming president after the 2024 election. You think that is a myth? Mr. What's his name? Stevenson? Collinson. That's a dumb name. Anyway, by Democrats who want to stop him, his statement used the same explosive language and sense of grievance that motivated some of his supporters to violence in Washington on January 6, 2021. It's so funny that it motivated some of his supporters. So remember when Donald Trump was elected president? Remember that? You remember, the goofy lady with the glasses screaming in the street, "No!" Remember that? And remember on his inauguration day, all the violence that popped up? Was that Donald Trump motivating his supporters to violence? Oh, wait, those are the anti-Trump people burning limousines and rioting in the streets of Washington, D.C. And in Portland, of course, because they always do that shit in Portland. But anyway, this is so funny. Oh, such an assault could only take place in broken third world countries. Sadly, America has now become one of those countries corrupted to levels not seen before, though they even broke into my safe, Trump said. He did not mention that the search was conducted on the basis of a legally authorized warrant. Well, whoop-de-doo. You know, remember when who was it they broke into? Remember they broke into Project Veritas's offices and raided their offices with a, what do they call it here? A legally authorized warrant. So you know what? You know what else was an illegally authorized warrant? The FISA warrant on Carter Page. Remember that legally authorized warrant? Jesus Christ. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, early Tuesday morning, Trump shared a new campaign-style video to his Truth Social site, declaring the best is yet to come. And he has also been fundraising off the search. Okay, and I'll bet you Eric Swalwell's probably fundraising off that search. I bet you the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee is going to be fundraising off that search. I bet you the Senate, whatever, something, Democrats and whatever's are going to be fundraising off that search. So what? But that's what politicians do. They fundraise off of stupid shit that happens. In some ways, his reaction in itself read like the opening salvo of a new presidential campaign built around the narrative of persecution by deep state forces, familiar from the approach of other strongmen leaders around the world. Oh, they're trying to see what they did there. They're trying to make him sound like he's a future dictator. Because, you know, if the democratic process happens to put Donald Trump in office, that can't be legitimate. Like, well, Joe Biden's victory. That, because, sorry, YouTube, I didn't mean that. No. That's because he has been trying to do a ongoing coup. And this is his method of doing it, by getting people to vote for him based on shit that the government's doing to him. Well, you know. Anyway, the FBI and Justice Department declined to comment on the search. President Joe Biden was unaware of the search of Mar-a-Lago until after it was reported on the news, according to a senior administration official. Again, say that word. Put it in the chat. Bullshit. Oh, wait. What the hell? Why isn't that typing? Here. Shit. There we go. Well, oh, wait. No, hold on. Let me reread this because I want to make sure. Let me clarify here for a second. Let's see. The FBI and Justice Department declined to comment on the search. President Joe Biden was unaware of the search of Mar-a-Lago until after it was reported in the news. No, you know what? Now that I think about it, that is completely possible. That is completely possible. Now, and not because they didn't tell Joe Biden that there was going to be a search, just because it's Joe Biden. And he may have heard it and had fallen asleep while they were telling him. He might have forgotten. He may have stuttered through the sentence and maybe he was asking for pudding while they were telling him and he just got too involved in his pudding. Or maybe they brought him Jell-O pudding pops. Maybe Bill Cosby's dropped by and said, "Oh, would you like some Jell-O pudding pops? Here's some Jell-O here." And then, okay, never mind. Now, without knowing whether Trump had broken any laws. Wait a minute. Wait, what? You don't know if Trump broke any laws. Nobody knows if Trump broke any laws. We don't have results of whatever they're going for here. But he's saying without knowing whether Trump had broken any laws, many Republicans picked up Trump's lead, reacting furiously, demanding the Justice Department explain itself, and claiming the ex-president was a victim of a political vendetta. Look, do we have a history of former presidents of the United States being raided by the FBI for shit like that? You know what? Do you recall? Did they ever? And now, granted, Hillary Clinton's not a former president of the United States, but when they were investigating her, do you ever recall them doing a raid of her Chappaquiddick? What's it called? Not Chappaquiddick. What's the place that Hillary Clinton lives? Chappaqua? Something like that? Chappaqua, they'd ever do a raid of her home. What? Butterstupid Coffee Cave is the greatest thing. What the hell are we talking about in here? Coffee Cave. Oh, because holy shit. Dang. Okay, American biscuits are bread, scones are hard-ass cake, and Anglo biscuits are shortbread. Okay, we're talking about biscuits and cakes and cookies and shit. What the hell's going on here? So anyway, this, I'm sorry. This is so highly unlikely. And then he goes through examples of well, I'll go to those examples. You can read the rest of that article yourself. You get the gist of it. And now here's from the New York Post, who's more Trump friendly than the CNN or New York Times or whatever. Judge who approved FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago once linked to Jeffrey Epstein. What? Oh my goodness. What is this? The Florida federal magistrate judge who signed off on a search warrant authorizing the FBI raid of former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort left the local U.S. Attorney's Office more than a decade ago to rep employees of convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Now, okay, that's not a good headline. To rep. Oh, wait. Yeah, that is a good headline. Oh, my God. Maybe he's mad that Trump sold Epstein down the river in Florida. He repped Florida employees of pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Sources tell the Post that Judge Bryce Reinhardt approved the warrant that enabled FBI agents to converge on the palatial South Florida state on Monday in what Trump called an unannounced raid on my home. Reinhardt was elevated to magistrate judge in 2018 after 10 years in private practice. But wait a minute. Is that okay? No, he's not a federal judge, so he's not a, well, he is, but he's not. But he's not, he wasn't appointed by Trump. It just happened to be elevated at that time. Months after his appointment, the Miami Herald reported that he had represented several of Epstein's employees in connection with the sex trafficking investigation against the financier. According to the paper, Reinhardt resigned from South Florida's attorney's office effective on New Year's Day 2008 and went to work for Epstein's workers on the following day. In 12 years as a federal prosecutor, according to his official biography, Reinhardt managed to docket that covered the full spectrum of federal crimes, including narcotics, violent crimes, public corruption, financial frauds, child pornography, and immigration. The Epstein employees Reinhardt's represented by his own admission to the Herald included Epstein's pilots and his scheduler Sarah Kellen and Nadia Markinovakova, something like that, who Epstein once reportedly described as a Yugoslavian sex slave. Okay. Gotcha. Also, the New York Post today. Could the FBI investigation into Trump stop a 2024 run for president? Now, let's just stop with that question. If you believe that this is an attempt to stop Donald Trump from running for president, put a 1 in any form in the chat. And if you don't think that's what this is about, put any other number. They don't want Trump to run. And I don't think this is going to help them. So let's see how they answer the question, Mr. Lee Brown. The shocking FBI raid of Mar-a-Lago quickly sparked a heated legal debate as to whether a conviction would disqualify former President Donald Trump from running again for the White House. As political and legal experts united in calling Monday's raid unprecedented, there was little consensus on whether it could ruin Trump's chances of a 2024 run, or even hand him a surefire victory. Soon after Trump confirmed the raid, saying his Florida state was under siege and occupied by the feds, many legal experts pointed to a law they said Trump could be hit with if he was convicted of taking classified presidential records, while they thought to be the potential violation the raid was investigating. Well, I don't know, because apparently you can't be tried for it. You can't be prosecuted for it because we have a what is it called, a precedent when Hillary Clinton wasn't prosecuted for it. Just saying. Apparently, it's okay to take them as long as you don't have any nefarious purposes with them. What nefarious purposes could he have? Anyway, Mark Elias, that piece of shit Democrat lawyer for Hillary Clinton in her 2016 presidential campaign, highlighted it was really big reason why the raid today is a potential blockbuster in American politics. Yeah, Mark Elias, you can go. Where are they linking here? Oh, they got a Twitter link. I'll open that one up. He linked it to a screenshot of US 18 USC 2071, which makes it a crime if those with custody of government documents willfully or unlawfully conceals, removes, mutilates, obliterates, falsifies, or destroys them. Really? Interesting, because you mean, like, I guess it doesn't count if you smash the phones and shit with hammers that were under subpoena, but this maybe. Anyone convicted faces up to 3 years in prison and shall forfeit his office and be disqualified from holding any office under the United States. Presidential historian Mike Betschloss. Hello, Annalyn. Betschloss. It's Beschloss, but I meant to say bitchloss. Anyway, while noting that the unprecedented raid came exactly 48 years after the night then President Richard Nixon resigned, the scandal... What? Oh, my God. It's exactly 48 years after the night President Richard Nixon resigned? I did not know that. The scandal that led to the laws Trump is now allegedly being investigated over. That's a real law, and if Donald Trump violated that law, that has real penalties, including the fact that he may never be able to serve in federal office again. Well, how the hell did Hillary Clinton get to run for president? She certainly broke those laws. Anyway, however, a flurry of other legal experts insisted that the legal block had long been ruled not to apply. If Trump is convicted of violating the statute, can he be disqualified from the presidency? No, insisted Josh Blackman, a constitutional law professor at the South Texas College of Law in Houston. He noted that the laws were exhaustively examined in 2015 when Clinton was accused of storing classified materials on her private email server and that a potential block had been ruled out. See, they set a precedent by not prosecuting Hillary Clinton, and also this particular issue was thought about then too, and they ruled it out. So they kind of just bit their own asses. He was one of many Supreme. Let's see. He was one of many he was one of many who cited Supreme Court rulings, later backed by other courts, that argued that Congress cannot alter the eligibility criteria set in the Constitution. Law professor Seth Barrett Tillman, one of those who wrote about the applicable law in 2015, noted Monday that the only restrictions on presidential eligibility were citizenship, residence, and age. Although the former president may be at legal risk, depending on facts, a criminal conviction would not bar him from another run for elected federal office, including the presidency. So there's more. These guys are arguing back and forth. Enough of that. So that's what they're doing. Now let's just look at some of the reactions while I have a few minutes left, and then we'll call it a day. Let's see. Here's Mark Elias' status on that stupid tweet he wrote, which he's full of shit. And maybe if it ever shows up on my screen. Coffee's cold, but it's still good. Wow, we couldn't or wouldn't prosecute a president lied to us into two wars, a vice president who gave us out no-bid contracts to his previous company employer. Yeah, it's crazy. Or a vice president who got 10%. Because he was the big guy. Anyway. All right. This is Mark Elias' tweet. I'm not going to read it. We just read it in the story. So anyway, here's the New York Times. Oh, and there were some supporters of Donald Trump gathered across the street from his private residence in Palm Beach, Florida, united in their anger over the news that the FBI had conducted a search of Mar-a-Lago. Yep, many people came out, and there's a corresponding article with it. I did not open it. Let's see. This is Kevin McCarthy, the Republican leader in the House, giving Attorney General Garland the stern warning. Attorney General Garland, preserve your documents, clear your calendar. I've seen enough. The Justice Department has reached an intolerable state of weaponized politicization and weaponized. When Republicans take back the House, we will conduct an immediate oversight of this department, follow the facts, and leave no stone unturned. Attorney General Garland, preserve your documents and clear your calendar. Bitch. Okay. I embellished, honesty. I'm blue waffle D, waffle D, waffle D, waffle D. Now we're singing in the chat. Hey, fuck that guy. He's all talk. He probably is. It remains to be seen. Although, it depends on who leads the committees, because kind of the committee chairmen, they kind of, I mean, I can see if Jim Jordan is a judiciary committee, that could happen, maybe, possibly, sort of. I don't believe McCarthy. I think McCarthy's I don't know. He's a wuss. Anyway, all right, other people. Mike Pompeo also chimed in. Executing a warrant against ex-president of the United States is dangerous. The apparent political weaponization of the DOJ and FBI is shameful. AG must explain why 250 years of practice was upended with this raid. I served on the Benghazi committee where we proved Hillary possessed classified information. We didn't raid her home. Yeah, I just said that. And there we go. And that's Rex Chapman, the douchebag former Kentucky basketball player. Was Hillary president? Does that matter, bitch? Who cares if she was the fucking Secretary of State and she had classified documents in her home, in her little fucking server thing. That server that she was getting classified emails and travel itineraries and shit for the Secretary of State and all kinds of stuff that wasn't supposed to be on an unsecured, government server. Well, she had it on an unsecured personal server in her home for a year. The Chinese hacked that shit. The Russians hacked that shit. The Iranians hacked that shit. The North Koreans hacked that shit. Everybody knew where she was going. For a year, unencrypted. So there. Shut up, Rex Chapman, you moron. Anyway, who else talked about this? Glenn Youngkin, governor of Virginia. A stunning move by the DOJ and FBI. The same DOJ labeled parents in Linden County as terrorists and failed to enforce federal law to protect justices in their homes. Selective, politically motivated actions have no place in our democracy. Okay, stop calling it a democracy, please. Say in our nation or our representative republic or whatever. Stop calling it a democracy. But anyway, I get the point. Oh, and the magistrate who issued the warrant used to represent Jeffrey Epstein. Well, not Jeffrey Epstein, but Jeffrey Epstein's employees. But still, it's funny. Yeah, that's funny. So that's just a coincidence, but still, what's his name? Bruce Reinhart. Did he have a bone to pick with Donald Trump for any of this? Anyway. Now, a couple things that were trending yesterday also, and some sort of today, was one of them was above the law, because a lot of the Democrats are saying no one is above the law. I can name lots of people who are above the law. Going back to Ted Kennedy. Ted Kennedy was above the law. He should have been in jail for killing that girl or leaving her to die in a river. Who else? Well, obviously Hillary Clinton is above the law. She's been, of course, I should probably not say anything because I want to make sure that I don't have any thoughts of immolation. Is it self-immolation? When you set yourself on fire, you hang yourself? Well, that'd be suicide. I don't have any bad, sad thoughts. But anyway, apparently she's Hunter Biden. Is Hunter Biden above the law? Well, apparently Hunter Biden is way above the law because they have all the evidence. He gave them the evidence because he's a dumb shit and left his computer somewhere. There's a lot of people above the law. But, oh, right, this whole theory behind no one is above the law is a very important tenet of liberal democracy. If the FBI can go after a president, they can come after any of us. Well, they can come after any of us anyway. No one is above the law. Hisses the entirety of Epstein's flight log. Ha! Yeah, all those people who diddled the younger ladies and Epstein's crew. Everyone in Epstein's black book is above the law, right? Bruce Jenner is above the law. Yes, he killed somebody in a car crash, but then changed himself into, what's her name now? The Caitlyn and stuff, and then she became above the law. There's a lot of people above the law. Nate, here's a tweet by Nate Delaire. Feds raid Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Yes, there are no facts yet, but here is the spin from both sides. Left, no one is above the law. Forget Hunter Biden. Right, Trump is above the law. Remember Hunter Biden. So everybody, or, everyone, me, what are the facts? Good point. That's the other reason that I am not taking a well, I kind of have already, even though I just want to know the facts and I want to know what's happening. I'm putting the 5-day rule on it. So maybe by Friday, we'll know some more facts that I can be definitive about. I'm reading you other people's opinions today, and that's how it's going to be. So, thank you, Hillary Clinton. I didn't realize you were watching the show. Who says it's Arkansas if you feel sad. Yes, Ms. Clinton, I will be a good boy and I will not mention your name ever again. Thank you. All right. David French, that asshole. A lot of people are losing their minds tonight without seeing the warrant application, or the supporting materials. Neither the former president nor the FBI are above the law. Take a breath and wait until we see the basis for the warrant before judging its merits. Okay, that's fair. Joe Scarborough. Oh, God. Joe Scarborough, who is really a Democrat now. He truly is he's a left-wing lunatic, even though he's pretending he's still a Republican. Fascists hate the rule of law. The fascists had some of the most strict laws on the planet, Joe, you fucking moron. They weren't very good laws, but they were laws, and you're an idiot. They fight it, try to undermine it, work every day of their lives to destroy it. But in America, they fail. Fascists are brought to justice by law-abiding Americans because in America, we still believe that no man is above the law. Well. Joe, aren't you the guy who found it? There was a dead woman in your office? Hello, Donald Camp. Joe Scarborough, how'd that woman die in your office? Were you above the law? Anyway. Oh my God, all the usual subjects. No one is above the law. Anyway, that's trending. They're dumbasses. Another thing that was trending, though, was the word national divorce. The words that was yesterday. 83% of IRS audits are done to Americans making less than $100,000 per family. You think the 87,000 new agents will focus on the rich? National divorce. No, they will not. Morning coffee on my front porch. Deer enjoying the rain. Trump supporters calling for a national divorce. Oh, it flipped. Sorry. I'll just read I'm going to read a few of these, but this was trending for whatever. At some point, we need a real conversation about the harm being done, allowing the lost cause myth to survive into the 20th century. I keep saying the national divorce trend, and maybe we should have a more honest conversation about the Civil War and the Confederacy. Okay, I don't know what that means. Mar-a-Lago being raided by the FBI is going to have major ripples. National divorce is trending, and we keep getting further and further divided as a nation. Try to stay optimistic that we can find some common ground before things escalate anymore. I'm fine with that. And then fuck the FBI right now. Well, look. Here's where I'm going to finish this up. There's a couple other articles, but anyway, that was trending. So I have a couple others. I have one from Tara Warwick, aka Sticks Hexenhammer 666. Trump being persecuted as usual by the deep state. FBI raids Trump Mar-a-Lago, blatant hit job. Interesting take on this. It was very similar to his video this morning. And on the other end of the spectrum would be the Daily Beast. Eric Trump runs to Sean Hannity to whine about FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago. So the Daily Beast obviously is not going to like Trump very much, and so he'll consider anything complaining about this as whining. But Fox News host Sean Hannity on Monday let Eric Trump complain at length about the political persecution of his father. Okay. Why wouldn't they allow Eric Trump or any other Trump to comment on this raid of his place? Why wouldn't, if CNN could have gotten Eric Trump to complain, or if MSNBC could have gotten one of the Trumps, do you think they would book them? Of course they would. But he went to a Trump-friendly outlet. So what? Is this a story, Daily Beast? That someone named Trump went to Fox and went on Fox and complained about the fact that the FBI is raiding a former president of the United States' personal residence and business? Do you think that's an appropriate thing to do? That someone in your family might go and say, hey, we think it's bullshit. Shocker. Holy shit. Anyway, if you want to hear, read about the Daily Beast ridiculing Eric Trump for complaining about this raid, which of course they would complain about the raid. What do you expect them to do? Oh, well, we went and got some Vaseline and shined up the inside of Dad's butthole and let them fuck him right in the ass. That's what because they thought it was a great idea. No, they didn't do that. God, did I say that out loud? Did I really say that out loud? Holy shit. What's going on with, okay, never mind. Thank you, Jor, for the dude 23, the small bullet, who says you must be feeling sad. See you soon. Well, I don't know. Hey, Jimmy from Philly, what's up? Yeah, I'm not feeling sad at all. I'm just telling you right now, I am not suicidal. In the words of Jesse Smollett, I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. Thank you, George, for response to the show. You're a great American. Anyway, the other things that I have on this are a couple other articles that you can read on your own. One is Mark Elias boasts about the real motive behind the FBA's Mar-a-Lago raid. Oh, no, I do want to read this. I'm going to take the extra time. And then also DeSantis chimed in saying, let's see, let me put these articles on. What the hell? There we go. DeSantis blasts Biden's Banana Republic after Fed raids Trump's Mar-a-Lago. He tweeted something to the effect that this is bullshit and we're becoming more like a Banana Republic. Jonathan Turley, the Harvard lawyer, was wondering why didn't Merrick Garland ask for a special counsel to be appointed? Now, I'm not sure if that's the appropriate spot there. If it's an investigation that the FBI did the raid and apparently didn't tell the White House, wink, wink. He's asking, on Monday during an appearance on Fox News' Jesse Walters Prime Time, following news that the FBI had raided former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home in Palm Beach, Florida, for undisclosed reasons. George Washington University Law School professor and constitutional scholar Jonathan Turley questioned why Attorney General Merrick Garland would not have proceeded with a special counsel before greenlighting the raid. According to Turley, the potential appearance of politicization would have warranted an impartial investigation, which could have been done with a special counsel. Well, it's breathtaking. It's a breathtaking moment to have a raid like this on a former president and potentially the future opponent of the current president, he said. My first reaction, beyond shock, is that it is baffling how this raid would occur, but Merrick Garland decided not to appoint a special counsel. If there was evidence that supports a warrant, and apparently a federal judge found that evidence, why did Merrick Garland ask for a special counsel to be appointed? People like Archibald Cox and others are celebrated because we appointed a special counsel to look into Nixon. Why? It was because we wanted to assure that the American people that the investigation would not be political, would not be influenced in the case that case by Nixon himself. So good point, John Durley. You can read the rest of that. And then the last one here is the FBI Director Wray. This is from before last week. He left a Senate hearing early because he had to be somewhere very important. Well, apparently he flew to a vacation spot. But the one I wanted to get to here was from the American Thinker. Thank you. Thank you, trans community. Bullet in the tip jar says, we can make you suicidal. I am not, in the words of Jussie Smollett, I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. I wonder if you get in trouble for saying suicidal too many times on YouTube. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Greatly appreciated. All right, we're going to finish this off with Mark Elias, the Democratic lawyer. Mark Elias is a very smart man who hooked his wagon to the Hillary Clinton star and has been involved in almost all the attacks against Trump. His allegiances are clear, and he's incredibly excited about the Justice Department's decision to sic the FBI on Trump, a former and possibly future president. The main purpose is to keep Trump from being able to run. That's it. Since the day Trump defeated Hillary Clinton in November 2016, the Clinton camp, the Democratic establishment, the administrative agencies, aka the deep state, the Never Trumps, and the media, collectively, the anti-Trump coalition, have had a single unified purpose: to get Trump out of office and keep him out of office. They've had some success, but they haven't sealed the deal. The Russia hoax occupied much of Trump's energy during his first 2 years in office, leaving him unable to turn all his efforts to carrying out his campaign promise. The hoax eventually fell apart, but only after revealing, thanks to practically daily political colonoscopies, that Trump is probably the most honest man in both business and politics. Well, they haven't actually found anything, they have put a microscope well up high into his private parts, and they've really not come with anything substantial. Anyway, the Russia hoax occupied. I already said that. When the Russia hoax failed, the anti-Trump coalition moved on to the Ukraine hoax, from which it was able to wring an impeachment. Despite Adam Schiff, the pencil neck fuckface theatrics, that was my own little embellishment, though that episode also revealed to most Americans that Trump was as clean as a whistle. Throughout both the above hoaxes, the anti-Trump coalition kept alive the, quote, fine people, end quote, hoax, pursuant to which it claimed that Trump had called neo-Nazis fine people. Of course, he hadn't. Instead, he condemned them, as well as observing presciently that the leftist war on America institutions wouldn't stop with Confederates, but would instead extend to America's founding fathers. It was only with Stupid 19 and ex-con George Floyd's decision to give his deceased heart oh my God, this sentence. Give his deceased heart the kill shot of a massive amounts of illegal drugs, that the Democrats finally got the leverage to boot Trump from office. I don't need to detail the shenanigans from that year. You remember them. Despite the election being called for Biden, Trump remained a problem for the anti-Trump coalition. He refused to accept the election results and foolishly decided to hold a DC rally DC. That I agree with. Foolishly decided to hold a rally DC. Just wasn't a good idea. I said that from the beginning. I knew it was going to turn into a shit show. Anyway, on the day of the Electoral College votes were to be counted. Doing so played into leftist hands. I'm one of those who think that with the help from Ray Epps and other operatives, naive Trump supporters were skillfully steered into the Capitol, remember those words, into the Capitol, as a predicate for destroying them and Trump. Certainly, the January 6th committee exists solely to make the case that Trump cannot possibly be the Republicans' 2024 candidate. Even that, though, it isn't going well because Americans are bored and unimpressed with the proceedings. His rallies are still huge. In head-to-head polls with Biden, Trump wins. Oops. Is it any surprise that Merrick Garland, hyper-partisan DOJ, obtained judicial authorization for a raid on Mar-a-Lago? Without seeing the warrant, it's not entirely clear to me what grounds the raid proceeded. But listening to how 30 agents descended and took everything that wasn't nailed down, along with stories creating between National Archives and national security, I currently believe that this was a fishing expedition and one that violated the Fourth Amendment's prescription against general warrants, i.e. unlimited rights to search someone's person or property. I think that might be, because clearly the warrant had to have something specific, right? But they went in there and just raided and took shit and opened the safe and did some random shit. I'm curious. Democrats want to find something, anything, to keep Trump from running again, and I don't need to guess about that because that's exactly what Hillary's lawyer, Mark Elias, is boasting about. The media is missing the really, really big reason why the raid today is a potential blockbuster in American politics. And he cites this code that says, shall forfeit his office and be disqualified from holding any office under the United States. Yes, I recognize the legal challenge that application of this law to a president would garner since qualifications are set in the Constitution. But the idea that a candidate would have to litigate this during a campaign is, in my view, a blockbuster in American politics. Eliot's caveat, the Constitution provides the only limits on a person's ability to run, isn't a problem for a party that plans to pack the Supreme Court or at least to get an unstable base to pick off Supreme Court justices. Yeesh. There's also the problem that it's the president and who makes the ultimate determination about what's classified or not. If Trump concluded while packing up the office that a document wasn't classified, it wasn't. That's the other problem they have. So yeah, he could have taken 15 boxes of things from the office and just said, you know what? None of this shit's classified because I said so, because he has that authority. But then again, none of this matters to the anti-Trump coalition. As Elias says, the idea that a candidate would have to litigate this during a campaign is, in my view, a blockbuster in American politics. Maybe Elias is right, but I hope the Democrats are guilty of hubris and riding for a fall. Sure, the base is ecstatic, but ordinary political disinterested Americans see the disaster of Biden's administration and already beginning to worry about election integrity may not be impressed with watching the Biden administration use manifestly fake charges to sway another election. Or at least I hope ordinary Americans will feel that way. So, great editorial. I'm going to stop there for today. Thank you, Donald Camp, and thank for sponsoring the show with the feminist $12 via YouTube Super Chat. It says, good morning, P-Dog. Finally get to watch you live for once. Just one question. Can I call you the best not Jack on your channel? Donald, your generosity gives you the ability to call me whatever the hell you want. Just don't call me shithead. Anything but shithead. Even if you can call me fuckface, but don't call me shithead, because that might piss me off. But if you want to call me the best not Jack, I will accept that honor and run with it the next time I go on a show where there is an actual Jack. So anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to call it a day. Thank you, everyone who sponsored the show today. That's been fantastic. That'd be the FBI, okay, and Chicago Mike, Jimmy Das Hotep, Tyler Alexander, Hillary Clinton, trans communist or trans something community, trans community, Jor, and Donald Camp. And thank you very much. And everyone who's in the chat today, glad you were here. If you're watching or lurking or watching in the background or a replay, I appreciate you all too. Put a comment in the comment section if you drop by, and if it wasn't during the show, I always appreciate that. And then what else? Hit the like button if you haven't done that so far. Share this video stream, whatever you want to call it, before, during, after the show. And 24 hours a day at PDogKnight.live. You can drop messages that I'll read on the show, also YouTube Super Chats, and a couple options down below. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I'm talking as fast as I can because I'm already late. You have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow for the Morning Night Live at 10 o'clock as my normal time, 10 o'clock Eastern, of course. And I will do a show Thursday. It might be early, though, because I have a plane to catch. And so I have to do the show early on Thursday. I'll do a show Friday from Hotep Con. And that'll be kind of a live walking around interviewing people or whatever during breakfast. And that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, gotta go. My name's P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P. Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.